Kristen, would you take roll, please?
Commissioner Corbin.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Mayor Lindsay.
Here.
Commissioner Waldner.
Here.
Commissioner Thill.
Here.
You have before you the agenda for this evening.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no appearances or acknowledgements, is there anything you'd like removed from the consent calendar?
Make a motion, we approve the consent calendar.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no old business, under new business, authorize the mayor to sign the letter of contract with Banner Associates on the 2017 water sewer main boring projects. And Chad, would you want to address that, please?
Yes, I can, thanks. This is a newer style project for us with some of the boring. There's four locations, that we're boring. One's under the railroad, over there on Garfield Avenue. And then from Hearth to Egan, we're connecting some water mains where there's a dead end line. On Egan by the Silver Creek Bridge on the west side, there's a line. And then over on Highland Avenue, we're having a water main project. There's a boring under that creek as well in conjunction with that project. And so this is the work to develop the plans and specs for the boring component of the project. One of them will be again in conjunction with our others. The others will be standalone. We're providing the surveying for the Highland Avenue one, our own staff and such like that. And then during the construction part of all the different parts of this project, we'll be doing the construction administration. It's been included into the project funding in the IIP as part of these 3 projects. And so I would recommend that we proceed. And one of the most time-sensitive components is the railroad permit. Sometimes it can take months to get that taken care of. And so if we can start that this year, that would be great. I've talked to Banner. It's likely invoices for that wouldn't happen until 2017. For budget purpose, I talked to Jen about that as well. So if it happens either way, it's probably not a big deal, particularly because the funding all comes from that IIP, where there's funds in reserve essentially now, or whether you spend them in 17 or 18, or excuse me, 16 or 17. So, yeah, that's just a few comments about it. I can try to answer any other questions if there are any.
Yeah, excuse me. So Banner's gonna come in and just do certain parts for $20,000, where could you guys do the whole project? Surveying Highland and South Egan and Hearth and the
Right,
railroad bridge?
We're surveying, because we're already doing Highland Avenue, we're
Yeah.
doing that, and we're gonna turn the survey over to them. We're also continuing the survey on the Highland Avenue and the 7th Street project. We're also surveying a project on 3rd Street, and then we may try to talk about adding a project on 6th Street. So the other part of the time constraints is with what we're finishing this year, project still ongoing, and what we're already surveying for next year, we just don't have time to do it, and with our other duties that we're still going on.
I think it's prudent to hire Banner for this, especially considering we're gonna be boring under the railroad, and railroads can be difficult to work with at times, so I'm comfortable with it just for that aspect, and then we're getting a couple things beyond that, so. And our engineers will be doing some of the surveying, correct?
We are on the Highland Avenue.
So you'll be working with them closely on this.
Yes, sir.
I'll make a motion to authorize the mayor to sign letter of contract with Banner Associates, 2017 water sewer main boring projects.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Authorize the use of the Armory Reserve for the roof repair. And again, I'm going to ask Chad to address that.
Thank you. Yes, I can talk about this. Working with Bob Maxwell, he's a gentleman who works for the city, does various things in the Armory and in City Hall here. There's some areas of the roof where it appears that there's air getting behind some of the rubber roofing, and it's moving it, and the mayor's been up there with us,
Yes.
looked at it, and we have actually looked at it with Kiever, obviously, if they're able to provide this quote. but there's some termination, or some straps, or I'll call them straps, or items that are used to secure the rubber roofing to the brick walls that are necessary to try to preserve the integrity of that rubber roofing, keep it from blowing in the wind and basically creating a leak. Right now, the roof seems to be in good shape. We don't have any leaks, but there's some concerns that some of that rubber roofing that's come away from the vertical walls maybe create some problems for us. And so Bob had worked with Kiever, and we all met them together, and this is the amount that it would take for that work to be accomplished. The idea is to do it sooner than later, keep there from being maintenance issues by delaying this. Yeah, so that's the
And the
main
rubber
part.
roofing is, right now, it's mostly up here in what's gonna be the southwest side. But when the wind gets to going, it starts doing like a tarp on a pickup when you're driving down the road. And so, right now, it's a small area that's loose compared to the entire roof. But if we should have wind that would really get it to flopping, we could end up with, the roof gone and the whole thing,
So this would be a deal compared to what it could cost us if we
Absolutely.
let it keep
Yes.
doing this.
Yes. So,
I think Kiever's has a lot of familiarity. Bob
Mhm.
knows them. They're a local company and is satisfied with efforts they've done for the city, I think, on the fire roof wall, fire hall, the library and such. And so,
Kevers does do good work, and
yeah. And right now, it does not appear to have any leaks. It does not appear to have any tears, but it's already starting to stretch a little bit just from the wind action. So now is a good time to get it anchored down so that we don't have to deal with it. And it's never going to happen on a good time. It'd be pouring down rain or something like that when it happens, so.
I'll make a motion to authorize the use of the Army Reserve for roof repair. Do I need to $4,000? Is that gonna cover it?
That's what I was thinking,
I think that'd be
actually.
more
Okay,
than enough,
up,
yeah.
up to $4,000.
Sorry.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I,
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 3, board appointments. Jenny Wolf, Planning Commission, Board of Adjustment. Chad, do you want to address that, or do you want me to address that?
I can say a few things and then,
Okay, go ahead.
if that's all right. And this, for clarification, I believe this appointment is for the alternate for the Board of Adjustment. You may or may not recall, maybe it's been 2 years ago already, they created an alternate position, sort of a training position for new board members that will be coming in. This person would come in as the alternate if we're short because members are not able to make a meeting, so we have a full board to decide conditional uses or variances. The City Commission liaison, in this case, Mr. Corbin, is actually the first alternate, and the second alternate would be this person. But another thing I think I wanted to mention is we've had feedback from the board that it's likely we're going to lose 2 members within the next couple of months, and so we wanted to find somebody to sort of get at least a little bit of training. Miss Wolf here was recommended by one of the members, and then I had talked to her and explained this whole situation to her, and she was willing to serve, and then I passed that along to the mayor, who I think technically recommends, and then the commission would approve. So, yeah, if you have anything else,
Yeah, she had ran for commission, a couple times, and so I had visited with her, and she said that, if there was some, committee or something, where she could be a part of it, she'd be interested. And so we had Ashley Allen as a part-time, as in this spot, and then he moved on to the board when we had a member that left. And we have 2 members that have already expressed that they are going to be retiring, and one of them is going to be moving. So we know that that's coming down the road, and so it was recommended that we ask her, and so Chad reached out, and she's willing to serve. And so down the road in that, if she moves on, then we may be looking for someone else to move into basically it's a nice training spot because the Board of Adjustment doesn't meet all that often. And this way, the person's at the meeting, they see, the processes and that go on, and So when they do step onto the board and that, they're not totally new. So,
I'll make a motion that we allow the mayor to appoint to the Board of Planning Commission, Board of Adjustment, Jenny Wolf.
Second.
we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Under announcements, the Lake County Electronic Recycling Drop-Off Event is October 15th from 9 to 3. And again, this is Lake County's electronic recycling, but the city of Madison, and that provides the people and the location that to operate it. So, and then we change of meeting date from October 10th to October 11th because of a holiday. And with that, do we have a motion to go into executive session?
Make a motion, we go into exec.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.